All right, let's finish off this question by answering part B here, which says you need to figure out whether a loan at 8% per annum, compounding yearly or compounding monthly, is better value. Can we note the fact here that we are, let me get a red pen out, dealing with a loan. We are not dealing with an investment. With an investment, we want it to compound as much as possible because we know the more we compound, the more interest that we're going to create for ourselves. But if it's a loan, we don't want more interest, do we? Because the more interest we have, the more we have to pay. So let's imagine for a second that you took out a loan of $100 and they say you have to give us 8% per annum. That means you have to pay them 8% of that loan. So you want to pay as little money as possible. So that means you want to compound yearly in this case, because that means you're going to pay less money. Let's show this by figuring out the R values. So remember, to figure out the R values, you go 1 plus R over N over 100. Let's see if I can write that a bit better. R over N over 100. So in this case, 1 plus my R is my 8%. My N is how often we're compounding. So we're only compounding once here over 100. So that means I'm going to pay 1.08%. So 1.08, not percent, 1.08 yearly. If we now were to figure out monthly, what's my R value here? All right, to figure out the R value here, we go 1 plus R over N over 100. 1 plus is still going to be 8. This time we're compounding monthly. So it's going to be N is equal to 12. So we put a 12 there. We divide it by 100. I'm going to have to figure this out. So I'm going to have to go 8 divided by 12. Then I'm going to have to divide it by 100. And then I'm going to have to plus 1 to it. I'm going to have to round that. I'm just going to round it to 1.007. So those are my two R values. We can use these R values now to figure out how much I would have to pay for each of these loans. So again, let's imagine that I'm taking out a loan of $100. If I'm compounding yearly, that means I'm only paying 1.08 of that $100. So at the end of the year, I am paying $8 in interest to them. In contrast, if I took out $100 and now I'm compounding monthly with a loan of 8%, well, that means that each month I am going to be paying, this would represent 0.7% per month. So just to really visualize this here, if I was to come here for a moment, because it's important that we understand what's going on. We've got yearly. Oh, I'm going to need more room. Let's come down here. I've got yearly. And yearly is you're paying 8% at the end of the year. And there's monthly. Monthly means that you're going to be calculating the interest every month. So that means, if I was to do this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Every month, you're going to be calculating that interest, and that interest is what is going to be 8 divided by 12. And remember, we're going to round that to 0.7. So 0.7% each month. Each month, you're going to be paying 0.7% of that. Of course, if you add that all up, you're going to end up with 8%. But it's compounding every month. Every month, that's what's happening. So now, to figure that out, we're going to say, all right, we've got $100, and every month, we're going to times it by 1.007. Okay? 1 month, 2 month, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, let's compare the pair. If you were compounding yearly, you owed the bank $8 at the end of the year in interest. Here, do you see how what you owe now is $8.73? You have to give them an extra 73 cents if you compound monthly. That's no good because you have to give them more money. And again, you don't want to give them more money because you like money and you want to keep it for yourself. That's how money works. So yes, that is how that question works there. So make sure you're keeping an eye out for whether or not it is a loan or an investment. Hopefully that makes sense. A neat little question.